Hey there, it's Vince, Man with a Fork. I would like to thank all of you, first of all, for helping me get to our very first 100 subscribers. And I would like to welcome everybody to this channel by starting off with a very celebratory dish, spaghetti and meat sauce done my way right here on Man with a Fork. Let's get cooking. You know, there's nothing better than a piping hot bowl of spaghetti. Yeah. I'm here to give you a bowl of spaghetti and meat sauce that you can't turn away. You start simply with red onion and a few cloves of garlic. You just take this medium-sized onion, and we'll just, cross-hatch a little bit. I say that's about, you know what it is? The thing about red onions, a good cup and a half of red onion right there. It makes you cry. I'm crying, I'm crying on the inside. Yeah, I am actually tearing up. So I just want to bruise the garlic. Get a rough crush in there. Release those flavors a little bit. Sometimes I like to add a little bit of salt at this point. It doesn't need to be super fine. We want to take that, have it melt in our skillet. Now I know what you're thinking. I hate anchovies, right? Maybe you're not a fan, but trust me, this is the sort of thing that once you cook it down into the sauce, you're going to get a lot more complexity, a lot more flavor. And it won't even taste fishy. If you don't happen to have anchovies, right, but you want to get that same sort of rich umami flavor that this actually imparts, and you happen to have, I don't know, maybe something like fish sauce in your cupboard, you can actually use a few dabs of that and get a lot of the same qualities.
A few moments later.
Put some olive oil in there. Let's add our onions. Yeah, so you just want to get your onions to sweat a little. You don't want to brown them. You just want to concentrate the flavors. You want the onions to get softer, release that moisture, develop that sweetness. We add our garlic, and we'll add our anchovies. There's not a fishy smell at all coming from the anchovies by the time it starts to brown, but there is that extra complexity. So to this, we will start to brown 2 pounds of beef here. Some good quality ground chuck. The way I season this is I want to just add a little bit of salt. I just want to develop the flavors. The browning is still continuing over there. I'm going to hit it with a little black pepper. So one of the things I like to introduce at this point would be some red chili flakes. Not too much. We're not making a really spicy spaghetti, but we just want a little bit of excitement there. Again, you don't want to make a mince out of this, not too fine. You want to keep it nice and chunky. Give it a little bit of chew. Just work that. So this is about the time I'd like to add a little bit of Italian seasoning. Now, when it comes to this recipe, I highly recommend a can of whole tomatoes. You know what? We're going to do 2. So we're going to spoon in a 12-ounce can of tomato paste. Gently fold it all in. Just let the heat do its magic. I like to do a few other things to amp up the flavor again. I know we already started off with a base of garlic and onions, but I want to add one more layer, just a dash of onion powder. And we'll also add a dash of garlic powder to give it another layer of flavor there. Here we're going to add 3 tablespoons of ketchup. Give it a little brightness, a little sweetness, nothing too much. We're going to add one more layer of flavor. I like to add Worcestershire. Alright, at this point you just want to let all those flavors meld together. So you want to knock it down to low, maybe a hair above low, and lit it up. We're using some semolina wheat spaghetti, and then we'll take some boiling water just until it's covered, set it to a high heat, let it boil away. Once the pasta starts to soften, that's a good time to just give it a little pinch of salt. Maybe a couple. Again, we're adding another layer of seasoning there. Make sure every bite has a lot of flavor.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I want to bring the spaghetti and the sauce right to the table. That way you can adjust it, get the right proportion. Hey, the right proportion is the proportion that you like, right? And that's the important part. I like mine a little saucier than usual, or than traditional anyway. But I do like to make sure that every noodle is nicely bathed in that sauce. Alright guys, time for the first bite. That's a delicious mouthful. See the bits of beef there, nice chunks, good chunks of tomato. You could add cheese. Just gets better. Pick a cheese of your choice. Again, no rules here. I like white, some sharp white cheddar myself. I think it melts over this really well. A little pecorino romano just to give it a little extra bite. Maybe you want some mozzarella. You know what? It doesn't matter which cheese you choose. It matters that you like what you put over it. I couldn't wait, so I just started digging in there. You could tweak this a little bit. Add some chili powder if you like a little bit more of a Tex-Mex chili twang. So what's nice about this particular recipe is that you have multiple layers of flavor. You have the acidity, obviously, from the tomatoes. Different forms of tomatoes. We used whole tomatoes as the base. We have a nice strong umami base by adding a more concentrated tomato paste, and we added a little sweetness with just a hint of ketchup. Again, more umami sources like Worcestershire sauce and our tasty little booster there. The anchovies. Whenever you're working with ingredients that have an opportunity to just meld and come together, it tastes better the second day. It tastes better the third day. The best thing about a sauce like this is that it will actually last, refrigerated for up to a week. You can freeze it for later. No problem at all. You can have meals ready for you, ready to reheat at any point. You can actually store noodles yourself and put that in the refrigerator, and again, they're ready to just add to your bowl and then warm them up in the microwave. They'll be ready to go anytime. So I'm not expecting you to finish this all in one sitting. We made enough pasta sauce here to last you a week, honestly. This would serve about 8 people, right? So I say invite 7 of your closest friends or family. Or hide in a corner and eat it all yourself. I'm not going to judge. And neither should you. This is Vince. I'm the man with a fork. Happy eating.
And I'm recording boiling pasta. Woo, sexy!
Yeah.